Hello everyone, before we start designing, we are going to be looking up the tools in Canva, the various tools we could use, the best tools we could use always. So this is the element tab. Let's add a square. I added a square to the page. As you can see this duplicate tab, this with plus sign. This is used for duplicating items or elements. You can use them to duplicate. Then if you select an image, this is the font style tab where you pick any font you want. This is the font size. This is the text color. Let's assume you add a text and you want to change the color. You just have to click text color and let's change the color to blue. So change it to blue. That's for text color. You can still duplicate. Now if you have this over here and you have this on top of this, you can send this back and forth. You can send it back and you can send it forward. Let's change the color of this square so you understand what I mean. Now this particular square is on top of this. You can simply send it back by clicking there, send backwards, so it's behind. Now you could change the transparency of this square. You can adjust the transparency, and you can also use this position to bring it forward or backwards. Now this is the rotational tool. This icon over here, you can use it to rotate images, and this directional tool, you can use it to create a copy of that image. Also, you can use this section, that's the edges of the shape, to reduce it or increase it. And then we could add border to the shape using this border tab, and then we can change the border color using this. So that's all you have to know about the elements. This is to underline text. You could use this to underline the text, and we could slant it using italics. Now if you want to create a border, assuming this is a whiteboard, your graphic, all you have to do is add another shape inside this. Now you can change the color to no color, then you change the border style, add the border, then you change the border color, let's say white. So automatically you have yourself a border inside this. let's assume this is a white space. The border, let's change the color to blue. Let's make this 2. So we have a border inside the space, and this particular square has no color, just had the border color. So let's add an image to show you what I mean. Assuming we have this picture, let's send the picture to the back, and I want to add a border to this picture. All I have to do is select a square, remove the color of the square, and add only border color, adjust the border size, and then change the color to preferred color. Scale it and center it. That's how you get border in Canva if you don't want to go through the normal process. Now let me suggest some fonts for you guys. The best font to use is Horizon. Horizon is used. I like using Horizon very well, but everybody has a choice. Archival Black also is great. Yesiva one. Well, it all depends on the type of design you are making. A birthday card is different from a business flyer and an advert. So we have multitude lists. We have multiple lists, a lot of fonts to be explored. So you just have to look for the best one to use, and then you could adopt your style. Let's change this to bold so it looks better. Let's play with and another thing I want to show you guys is you could admit this text. You could admit this text, and you could change its effects if you want. You could change its transparency. So we have a lot of stuffs you can do using this platform. So for the next video, we kick off by designing something so that you understand how to use them better. Thank you, and God bless you. Good day everyone, welcome back to this graphic design course. So we are going to design a poster today. So once you get to the dashboard, scroll down and select, instead of selecting the whiteboard this time, we are going to choose a poster. So let's select a poster. So the first question you want to ask yourself is, what are you designing? What type of graphic are you designing? So let's assume we want to design a school flyer. Like I said in the last class, you need the stock images you're going to use for this design. So let's visit pexels.com. So once we are at pexels.com, we're going to search for students. So we get some pictures we're going to use for this design. Okay, let's start with this. Let's download this. And let's scroll down and find another one. Let's look for another design. Let's go with this. No, you can't run out of option of pictures. You can download as many as you want, so as to make your work very, very easy. Let's download this classroom. Okay, let me take one more picture before we start. Let me just take this. So let's upload it to the workspace. If you're using a system, you can just drag these files into the upload section. As if you're using a laptop, but if you're using a smartphone, you just have to upload it normally. So let's wait for it to upload. The pictures are uploading right now, as you can see. Okay, remaining two. So after uploading the pictures you downloaded, which are these pictures, let's kick off with the design. So this is the white space for the poster. Okay, let's add an element. Let's add a shape. We're going to add this square. Let's add square to the page. Let's drag it a little up, then let's zoom it to the center. So as you can see the straight line that shows that the square has reached the middle line. So the platform shows you guidelines to know that is perfect. So let's add a little color to this square. Let's use this green color. That's grass green. This is grass green. Now we're going to add another square here, but this time around it's not going to be a shape, it's going to be a frame, so that we can add picture. So we're going to select this frame. But if you have issues with selecting frames, you can just search for frame so that you see other options. You can click see all, so you see all the types of frame they have. If you scroll down a little bit, you will see different frames. But let me choose this square, and I'll push it up, reduce the size to match the other square. So let's adjust this a little bit, because you can see the two are equal. Like the dotted lines under shows you that they are equal. Now let's close it. Now we're going to close the frame and go to the upload, and then we're going to upload this picture here to the frame. You can just drag it to the frame if you are using a laptop, but if you're using a smartphone, just click on the picture, then drag it to the frame. So now it's inside the frame, which is perfect. Let's scroll down a little bit. Let's add a rectangle. Let's close this. Let's search for a rectangle. So you can't get a rectangle that easily, so you just have to edit a square. Let's drag this square to this place, stretch it into a rectangle, and then drag this a little bit down. Then let's change the color, and then we're going to add another color this time. Let's pick something colorful. Let's go for yellow. Let's just pick something like this. Remember, this is the hex code. If you want color options for the hex code, you can go to Google and search for hex code. And then you can just select colorhex.com, just like the previous video. Then you look for a perfect color for your design, which you can use. So this is it. You can just search for the color name here and you get the color. So we have the rectangle right here. So let's insert another square. This time we're going to push the square a little bit centered to this cube. Then we extend it a little, just like this. Yes, and then we change the color to, let's select this purple. This is a school poster, so it has to look a little bit colorful for attraction. Then at the end section of the flyer, we're going to select the frame. Let's scroll down, select the frame. So we added the frame, but this one is going to be small. Let's just put this here. Then let's use this to duplicate the frame, this plus icon. Then drag the second frame to the center. As you can see, the center line, and then duplicate it again to the third place. So the spacing between is 3.7 by 3.7. So the platform automatically adjusts it for you to be centered. Now we are going to add the 3 pictures into these frames. Let's select this classroom, add it here. Select this lady, add it, and then the last picture. Okay, now let's start the font design. But as you can see, this place looks a little bit empty, and I don't think we are going to put a right up here. So let's add a straight line. Let's add a straight line. Let's use this plus sign to this directional sign to drag the line to the down part. As you can see, it's not showing due to its color is white, So let's change the color over here. Let's change the color over here. We're going to select this yellow, this same color for the line. Then let's drag the line all the way to this place, aligned with the picture. And then let's increase the line weight over here. Let's make it 10. All right, so now we are good to go. Let's scroll up and then add some tests. This is going to be a header test. Let's use capital letters, 2023. Then let's find a good font size. For this train, I'm going to be using Northwester. Seems a little bit off. Let's try Horizon. Okay. Can search for other font types if you are not okay with this. Okay, this is perfect. Archival black. So let's change the color over here, text color, to white. Then drag it to this place. Let's reduce the font a little. Let's do 100. Then let's duplicate these tests. This time around we write admission. Let's adjust the size, and then let's make this 80 to make it smaller, a little bit smaller. Let's adjust this. Then we're going to change the color of this to this yellow. Then I'm going to duplicate this again, bring it a little bit down, and then type now open. Change the color again to white. As I'm trying to maintain the colors that are in the page already, so we don't need to add too many colors to the design. Okay, let's make this smaller. Let's say 70. All right, so it's taking shape now. So the next thing, we're going to add another element. Well, this time we're going to add, we're going to go to shapes, view all shapes. We're going to look for something else, something like this. This is okay. Let's use this. Click it to add, then change the color to yellow. then drag into this place, adjust the size a little bit. Now we're going to write something inside. We're going to write enroll. Okay, let's use small letter now. Enroll now. Now the text color, I'm going to change it to black. Now we're going to increase the font size. Let's do 40. And then let's try and make the text bold. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to go to the text and add a subheading. Bring it down over here. Let's change the font size to 30. This is going to be a small text. And let's say visit our website at www.myschool.com for more informations. Now let's break that. Okay, then let's change the text color to white. All right. So we are done with that. And this section now we're going to add a little bit of text here. Let's just make it simple. Let's add a phone number. Let's make this 32. Since this text is 30, we are going to use 30 here to make it look great. Zero. Let's add the school phone number. Just like that. And then change the color. Let's try purple. And then let's make the text bold. Okay, that looks great. Now to the up section, the first square, we're going to add a heading. Kids school. Let's reduce this to 100. A little bit large. Let's do half of that, 50. Then let's change the color to white. Then change the font type to archival black. Then we're going to add, let's add a little image here to serve as the logo. So let's just add a logo. Let's just add something to serve as the logo. Let's add this. These are pro templates. Let me check for something in the upload. Let's just okay, let's use this as the logo. Okay, then we're going to write a little description here, a little bulletin. So to create a bullet, we're going to use the square shape. Well, it's going to be small this time around. It's going to be very small. Let's drag it to this place. Then let's duplicate this into 2 places, and then we can type let's reduce this to 30. Center it to the box and write the school address. Then we change the font type and we change the color to white. Let's duplicate let's just use this for the email. Let's go at email.com. Okay, then let's go down a little bit and here we are going to put a little requirements. Admission requirements. Let's say requirements 40. Change the font. You have to maintain 1 or 2 fonts in your design so that it will look uniform. Let's use purple. Okay. Then let's add tick. Let me add this tick mark. It looks too colorful. Let's use this. Let's make it white. Okay, a little bit smaller, and then Now let's duplicate the tick sign. Now instead of going to drag another text box, let's just duplicate this and then use it here. Requirements must be smart. Requirements you must be a citizen. Let's align the tests. Then let's add the last one. You must be a kid. All right. So this is the logo, the school logo, the assumption. This is the school name, the address, email, the mock-up picture, the information about the flyer, requirements, and then pictures of the school, and then the phone number. Let's add a little bit right up here. Let's change the font to 40, and then let's drag it down a little bit. Features of the school, group activities, space, individual development, space, and interactive learning. Let's just drag it open like this and reduce the font to 30. So let's enter it to the page. Yes. Then let's add a hyphen to the market, the write-ups. Okay. Now this time around, we are going to leave it as black, and we're going to change the font type. Let's reduce this to 28 to accommodate it. Let's say 25. Okay, then we center it. All right, so let's zoom out. Okay, let's make this box a little bit smaller. Then adjust. Let's get rid of this, then duplicate this. That's it. So this is a simple poster design, detailed poster design. So you know how the tools works and how to navigate through the elements and the fonts So after designing, you have to export so we could view how it looks. So just have to click share, scroll down to download, then you pick a format you want. Let's pick a PNG and then let's download. It's quite downloading right now. We'll have to wait for the file to compress. So it's done downloading. Let me open the file and see. That's nice. So this is basic poster design for a school flyer or school poster. So that's it for this class. In the next class, we're going to run a little post design, Facebook post or Instagram post design. Hello everyone, good day. Before we embark on this designing lesson, I want to make something clear. As you can see, my screen is a little bit colorful. This is not the normal color. It's due to my laptop settings. The contrast is high, the saturation is high. So if you find any difference in the color, it's no big deal. I'm going to be designing this from scratch. So peradventure you see a shouty look or a colorful look, just know that it's from my system. I'm attaching the original copy of this so you see how the color looks on other devices. Good day everyone, welcome back to this graphic design course. So today we are designing an Instagram post for an advert, a crypto vendor Instagram post. So to get started, we're going to click create design. We're going to click and search for Instagram. Then we select Instagram post square. So once we get to the whiteboard, we're going to kick off immediately. So now to get started, we're going to scale our page a little bit. Then we're going to add an element. I'm going to add a frame where I'll place the advert picture. Let me go for this circle frame. Now I'll center the frame. Then after that, I'm going to add an image which I downloaded from pexels.com, my stock image. Let me scroll down, add the image. Let me choose this particular image for this design. Nice. Then I'm going to add the text element. Let me add a text box. Now let's type trade. Bring it up a little bit. Let's change the font style. Let's use horizon. Then I'll increase the font to 100. A little bit large. Let's go for 70. Okay, great. Then we're going to change the color of the text. For this design, let me use okay, let's go for dark green. let's use this color. Let's bring this up a little bit more. Now let's duplicate this text using this duplicate icon. We'll bring the second text down. Let's type letters. Then let's change the color of this text to black. Perfect. Remember, the two texts are centered. Then after that, we're going to add a little bit text here, a little text here. So let's add a little bit text. Let's type Bitcoin and gift cards. We're going to reduce this to 20 to make it a little bit small. Then we're going to make the text bold. Now let's bring it up a little bit. Then we're going to break it using Enter key, and then let's place it here. Make sure the lines are equal with the without text. Now I'm going to add another text. Let's just duplicate this text, move it to the other side. Everything is equal. Then I'm going to add another text here. Let's say fast and reliable. Fast and reliable. Okay. Let's try and align it. As you can see, this has 18 by 18 spacing, so they are equal right now. 18 by 18 spacing. Then after putting the two texts, we're going to add some things here in the downside of the design. Let's say the social media handle and phone number. So we're going to add an element. We're going to add a square. Then we're going to bring it down over to this side, reduce the size, and then stretch it all the way to the other end. Now let's change the color to no color since we are using white. Then let's add a border, line border. I'm going to change this to 2, the border weight to 2. Now let's change the border color to this particular green we are using here. Perfect. Now let's search for Facebook icon. We're going to use this because we can style this, but we can't style this once. So let's use this one we can style. Now let's reduce the size a little bit. This is 60 by 60, so we're going to increase it to reduce it to 50 by 50. Then change the color to green because they're working with green color, and then place it inside this box. Let's increase the box a little bit so that we can work with it. Yeah. Now let's center the box with the Facebook. Let's add Instagram icon also. Let's go with this one. If you go with this one, it's going to be outlined. You can see the space here. So if you go with this one, I'm going to style it. It's going to be a solid icon. So let's select this one. Let me show you the difference between this and this. The second one has space here, but this doesn't have any space, so we're going to use the other one. So let's scale it down to 50-50 so that it could match the Facebook icon. 50-50. Now let's place it beside the Facebook icon. Then change the color to green. The spacing is too much, so we're going to bring it a little bit close. And now we're going to add a text for the social media. Let's write at, let's assume the company name is Gifts Card Vendor. That's the social media handle. So we're going to bold the text and reduce the font to 20. This is the social media handle of the page. Now we're going to multiply this text and push it over to the other side for the phone number. And now let's change the right up to the phone number. Let's assume that's the phone number. So we're going to be adding a telephone to this number. So let's go to the elements and search for phone. Let's pick this phone. Let's reduce the size. Let's change the color to green, and then we're going to push it down, but this time we're going to rotate it to 118 degrees. Then we center it. Great. So we're going to add two images here to signify the gift card and also maybe the Bitcoin also. So I downloaded two pictures, but they had the background, so I went to remove the .bg to upload the pictures to get the ones without background. So all they do is they remove background from any image you download. So in case your stock image has background, you can come here, remove the .bg and upload it, and then remove the background. So let me add the two pictures. Let's reduce this, place this over here. Let's add this, reduce it, place over here also, centered. Then let's bring this one closer. After that, we're going to do something crazy right now. We're going to add a border color. We're going to add a border to this, make it 2, and then we add a border color of green. After that, we are going to add a little graphics to this whole page so that it can set. So we're going to add a circle element. Now let's increase the circle, push it down a little, Let's increase it a little bit more. Now let's change the color of the circle to green, but this time around is going to be a lighter green. Then let's reduce the transparency of the circle to 40, and then after that we're going to send the circle to the back, just like that. Now let's duplicate the circle, push this one a little bit further, then we're going to send it to the back also, and then we reduce the opacity, that's the transparency, to 20%. Now one more time, we're going to bring this one forward, send to the back, and reduce this to 10%. After that, we're going to adjust this, and then adjust this. Now let's change the whiteboard color back to white. So as you can see, this border differentiated this place and this bar. Then if you want to add the company name or the page name, you can do that over here. And the last thing we have to do about this page, since we have multiple green layers here with different transparency, we are done with this shade of green. This was used for this. Now we have to change the color of this text to white. After that, let's adjust it a little bit upward, and this also upward, and then we could add a border to all of this to make it look nice. That's if you want though. I like adding borders to my designs. Let's see how it goes. Let's add a square. Let's change the color of the square to no color. Then let's add border. This time around I'm going to use 3, and then border color I'm going to use white border. Let me zoom this out this way, this also, and then let me center it. Center. So it's going to add a white effect. This place, white from here like this to here. So as you can see, it's looking very nice. So this border effect is one of the secrets of graphics. So once you add the border with maybe a little bit, make sure the details are clean, very clean. Once details are clean, you get the best design out of what you're doing. So this is it, guys. I just want you guys to play around with the tools, get to master the tools, and then understand the concept of designing so that you could become professionals within few weeks.